Thanks a lot for that, Rachna, and congratulations on that solid story as well that you put out first here on CNBC TV18. Well, Mangalam, you want to weigh in terms of quick analysis on it?
Well, the deal has happened, but I'm looking at all the other paint companies. Typically, what happens is when a conglomerate gets in, you see, and that's what we've seen in the likes of all the other players as well. When Birla's announced, we saw a big gash in the paint stocks, etc. What is it that is happening right now in the paint stocks? Why are they buzzing as against, earlier? The first one is that the deal is done without any major price war amongst players. Multiple times there have been reports that, Berger was in the fray. At some point, Asian Paints looked at it. Then you had, even something like a Pidilite or an Indigo looking at it as well. But all of them have chosen to pass on due to valuations. And despite that, JSW Steel has gotten at a 16% discount to the previous close price, which tells you that there was no major bidding war. Secondly, competitive intensity. Now, that everyone is familiar with. Why? Because it's not a new player. JSW Paints has been around, Akzo Nobel has been around, so they know the strategies. And at the same time, even if they had to amp their strategies up a little bit, these companies have learned how to navigate through a competitive period, with Birla Opus coming in the last 4 quarters as well. The third part, when the demand environment is improving, the incremental share or sales is increasing, anyone eating into incremental market share does not worry the incumbents as much as against, earlier when Birla's came in at a time when demand was slowing down. So the incremental share went to Birla's at the cost of others. So in this case, if the industry is likely to grow, FMCG companies have called out an improvement in demand environment. We heard Berger Paints today as well. We'll play those bites shortly. They're saying that industry demand has improved in June. So on the one hand, everyone's navigated through competition. There hasn't been a major price war. Thirdly, demand is improving. The fourth most important factor is crude. It's below $68 per barrel. Geopolitical tensions have eased. So you have enough elbow room on your margin front as well to go ahead and compete, even if the industry is seeing competition. But above all of that, price. Once the Birlas entered the fray, all the paint stocks were at a record high. Now from 52-week high, we've seen a big cut. Asian Paints is down about a third. Berger Paints, which has done an outperformance, is still down about 10% from its 52-week high. Kansai, Nerolac, Indigo, Akzo Nobel, all of them down anywhere between 28 to 30%. And the valuations have come off as well. So this is the reason why, despite this deal being announced, we haven't seen all the other paint companies or all investors looking to sell other paint companies, because they believe that this is something that they've been able to tame before, and now it's all in the price.
Well, that's right, Mangalam. It appears it's a win-win-win scenario, because good for JSW because they're expanding scope. Akzo wanted to get out, so they seem to have got a fairly okay deal. And Asian Paints is high by 2.5%, telling you that they don't believe there's going to be any kind of big threat, because it's already, players that are in there. But Mangalam mentioned that, we...
Just another word on Asian Paints as well. The stock has been an underperformer. The other thing was the supply overhang. Big 5% equity that Reliance had to sell. That is out of the way as well. So that is another positive. The only thing we'll have to watch out for from here, how aggressive will the JSW group be in the market? Because, for them, Rachna had pointed out that 2,000 crore is what they will put in terms of their own money. The rest will be structured debt. In the paint industry, everyone else has a very strong balance sheet. So if they are entering the paint industry with a balance sheet debt of close to 7,000 odd crores, including the debt that they have on their books already, then will they have enough elbow room to go ahead and muscle through a price war or no? Something we'll watch out for.
But in fact, we had that interesting conversation